You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey GH fans, in case you haven't heard, Lulu Spencer is about to wake up from her coma with a brand new face. And this recast is going to change everything on General Hospital. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's jump into the huge ripple effects for Sam, Dante, Laura, and many more when Lulu wakes up. But first, please click subscribe if you're not following us. It has been, if you have lost count, almost 4 years since Julian Jerome left a bomb at the floating rib on the order of Cyrus Renault. That was back in November of 2020, and Jason Morgan was the target of that bomb, but it was Lulu Spencer, among others, that paid the price. Her boyfriend Dustin had just proposed, but Lulu was going to tell him no because she realized she was still in love with Dante Falconeri. At General Hospital, after the explosion, if you remember, Lulu, she was kind of burned and singed around the edges, but she seemed fine. And she texted Dante to meet her in the chapel. When he showed up, Lulu tried to say, "I still love you," but she couldn't get the words out. And then she collapsed, and Dante didn't know that she still wanted him. Lulu fell into a coma from a brain injury she sustained in the bombing that they didn't realize she had because they didn't do a CT scan in time. So Dante, Laura, and many others in Port Charles were devastated when doctors couldn't bring her out of the coma, and Lulu was eventually moved to a long-term care facility. And we all knew that they were likely bringing her out of the coma pretty soon once they started showing Charlotte and Dante and Laura visiting Lulu at the long-term care facility. Of course, fans were really excited, hopeful that we were going to get Emme Rylan back on General Hospital, but now we've got this soul-crushing news that they are replacing her. And GH recasting Lulu was as big a shock to Emme as it was to fans. The first glimmer of trouble was this casting call for General Hospital for a character named Lauren. That's clearly a fake name, but it's pretty close to Leslie Lou Spencer. So pretty clear. Plus, the description is absolutely a fit for Lulu. She's 34 to 40, blonde hair, white woman, beautiful, fiery, and the character is said to overcome challenges and come out stronger. If that wasn't enough, along with the recent episodes of Laura and Dante visiting comatose Lulu, then Emme Rylan confirmed the recast herself. She said, "Yes, it's true. GH has decided to recast Lulu," and the actress said she was very disappointed, but also glad to have closure, and she reiterated her love for GH fans, which is always nice to hear. Emme also said she had been expecting a call from General Hospital to bring her back when, at whatever point, they decided to wake up Lulu from her long slumber, but instead she didn't get that call and the ABC soap went in another direction. All that said, we want to talk about the ripple effects of GH waking up Lulu Spencer and how many storylines it's going to shatter. First and foremost, we have Laura Spencer, who has been without all 3 of her kids for way too long. Nicholas Cassadine is in prison. Lucky Spencer is off Lord knows where, but he's headed home soon. And Lulu Spencer is in that lingering coma. Now, though, Laura has another child because she just adopted her grandson, Ace Cassadine. So she's got a 4th kid to introduce to Lulu and Lucky. And eventually, Nicholas knows it because it's his son. But Lulu and Lucky when they're both back. Laura had hoped for a miracle for years that would bring Lulu back to her. And now it seems she is getting one. In addition to Laura catching up Lulu on her new baby brother, she's also got to break the horrible news to her that her dad, Luke Spencer, died while she was slumbering away in that coma. That's going to be a very hard truth for Lulu to cope with, fresh on the heels of finding out she has missed 4 years of her life and of her children's lives. It is going to be a lot to process, and a lot of it is going to fall on Laura. All right, the second thing, while we're talking about other Spencers, Lucky Spencer is due back on our TV screens in just a few weeks because Jonathan Jackson is back filming new scenes this week. I'm sure we're going to see Laura introducing Lucky to Ace Cassadine, and I expect Lucky to be on hand to see his little sister wake up from her coma at last. This casting call is new. So in terms of a timeline, first they have to find this new Lulu actress and then start her filming. So So if you think about it, honestly, it could be November sweeps when Lulu wakes up, given that the scenes they're filming right now are not going to air until early September, and they're still on the search for a new face to replace Emme Rylan. So I am excited to see Lucky back, and I look forward to him spending time with Lulu and her kids when he's back in Port Charles. Lucky's return to town might soften the blow of Lulu finding out their father Luke is dead, with another Cassadine to blame. All right, third, Dante is one character who will be most heavily affected by Lulu waking up. Although she never got to tell him that she still loves him, that might be at the top of her to-do list when she wakes up. You know, Dante comes to see her often. He brings Rocco, and when Lulu wakes up, she's going to have no idea it's been 4 years. The day she slipped into that coma, Dante was at her bedside asking her to wake up and finish the sentence she was saying when she fell unconscious. He has been waiting 4 long years to hear what Lulu had to say. And what she had to say was, "I love you." But since then, Dante has fallen head over heels in love with Sam McCall. And of course, Lulu's not going to know anything about that. And Dante was single at the point she fell into that coma. So it's going to be a very awkward conversation. And Sam may worry that Dante still harbors love for Lulu. And of course he does, you know, and he may want to reconnect with her. He may be torn. And Dante and Lulu have all this time to make up with their son, Rocco Falconeri, as co-parents. And that could absolutely cause issues for him and Sam. All right, number 4, let's flip things around and talk about the culprit that put Lulu in that comatose state. That is her uncle, Cyrus Renault. Of course, at the time that the bombing happened, neither Laura nor Lulu knew that Cyrus was part of the family. I'm not even sure the GH writers had decided on it at that point. Anyway, Lulu was not Cyrus's target with the bomb. He was trying to kill Jason Morgan, and he made Julian do his dirty work. So when Lulu wakes, it'll no doubt fall on Laura to explain, "Oh, by the way, you have a new uncle. Oh, and also, by the way, it's that bad guy Cyrus. And oh, one last thing, just by the way, he's the reason you've been in a coma and have lost years of your life. Sorry, Lulu, meet your Uncle Cyrus." You know, Laura will also get to explain about her other new uncle, Martin. We don't see him a lot, but he's not murdery, you know, like the drug dealing mobster uncle. And I'm sure Lulu is going to wonder why her mom let Cyrus into her life after he nearly killed her daughter. That is going to be a very unpleasant conversation from Lulu and her mother, Laura. And you know, Cyrus is going to want to show up and do his "I'm so sorry, I'm a changed man, I love you," yada yada. Messy, messy, messy. Good soapy mess though. 5th and final thing to talk about, Charlotte and Valentine. You know, Lulu's other daughter, Charlotte Cassadine, and her test tube baby daddy, Valentine Cassadine, must be considered in this conversation. Right now, Charlotte and Valentine are on the run because the FBI came to bust Daddy Val for running pikemen, and we have not seen or heard from them since. GH hasn't confirmed if James Patrick Stewart will ever be back, and the actor hasn't spoken on it either. No doubt Charlotte will absolutely want to come back to see her mother, but with Valentine on the run from the law, that's messy. So, you know, GH can always write a twist where the FBI has to drop the charges, you know, maybe the WSB pressures them, whatever. Or maybe Charlotte returns to see Lulu on her own without her dad Valentine. If Lulu is not destined to be reunited with Dante, I had kind of always hoped to see a spark between her and Valentine, but he's still head over heels for Anna. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out. But definitely check back here for updates once we get confirmation on the recast actress and her first air date as Lulu Spencer. We will share that with you. And it's just a hunch, but I expect that General Hospital may hold off and have the new Lulu wake up on the anniversary of when she fell into that coma. That was November 25th, 2020, and that would be in the last 2 days of November sweeps this year if GH does it that way. And you know, for sweeps, they always go big. Hey, drop your comments. Are you upset the soap is replacing Emme Rylan as Lulu? Let me know what you think. Please subscribe if you're not following us, and definitely check back for updates. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I'm here talking GH with you 7 days a week.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.